Hello, I'm Dale. This is Whippica. Today we have a fun bar-inspired interval workout to do for you today. We're gonna start our warm-up. We're gonna do some warm-up standing. We're gonna get into our workout. I have 6 exercises for you that we're gonna go through 2 times with 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Now, if you're like, that's not enough for me, I wanna do a little bit more. Great. Do the whole workout again. It's awesome. All right, so we're gonna start standing. I want you to bring your feet underneath your hips and stack yourself up. Ankles, knees, hips, ribs, shoulders, head. And I want you to bring your hand on your low belly. Think about your low belly pulling in and up. So a little core activation with standing work here. So pull in and up, in and up. Find a low belt across your hips. Give it a little cinch. Keep pulling in and up. Find a little space between your low back bones. And can you lift your low back bones? This is a little cue from Shari Berkowitz, one of my favorite instructors. A little belt higher, right around belly button height. Give it a little cinch. Pull in and up. Find that space between the low back bones. One belt that's higher around the ribs, give it a little cinch. So you've got a low, a middle, a high belt, give them a little cinch. Now, you're gonna keep those belts cinched in. I want you to sit your hips back, take a little squat, come to standing, lift your heels, lower your heels, set your hips back, little squat, stand, heels lift, and lower. Keep pulling your belly in and up, keeping your spine nice and long as you go back and forth between your plie or your squat and your releve or your calf raise. You could call that plie releve or squat calf raise. Warming up the big muscles in the legs because we're going to be doing some leg work here. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Good, last one. Ooh, I forgot the calf raise. All right, shake out those legs a little bit. Now we're gonna go through some balance, all right? So keeping those belts cinching, shift your weight to one side and lift into a star. Yep. Now we're gonna transition into an airplane balance. If I had lights on my hip bones, they're pointing forward. And we're gonna keep the spine long. Keep lifting through the spine, come through center, bring your knee up towards the ceiling. Let's do that one more time through. Come into your star. Transition to an airplane. If at any point you need to put a toe down or you fall out of the balance, that's okay. Join back in. One more time. Bring that knee through. Set that foot down. Shake out your legs if you need to. Shift your weight. Come into your star. Transition. Chest forward, hinging at the hips, keeping the spine long. And through, pull the knee up. We're gonna move one more time through that transition. Come into the star. So it is just moving ourselves around through space, through different angles, through different planes. As our balance shifts, we get challenged in each shift. Woo. Good, come center. Step your feet a little wide. We're gonna step and tap. Step and tap. I wanna get your heart rate up a little bit. Yep. And circle the arms. Okay, keep stepping, tapping, circle the arms. Yep. And circle in the other direction. Good. All right, now we're gonna step, tap, and reach. Little side bend. Yep, kind of like jazzercise from the 80s. Y'all remember that? Little step aerobics. Yep, just warming ourselves up. Don't worry, the workout is not gonna include any of these. Just warming up. Now step behind. Yep, good. Now we're gonna add a little punch, little punch, little punch, little twist. Now, if you don't like that, you can keep your hands in front. Yep. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come center, shake out those arms, shake out those legs, come into first position. So heels together, toes apart. This is our first exercise, all right? So I'm gonna say every once in a while, remember those belts, remember that lift through your spine, even as we come through different positions, even if we're on our bellies, on our backs, down on the mat, in a plank, hint, hint. So our first exercise is starting in a turned out position. I'm going to start my timer so I can keep track. Remember, 6 exercises, 2 times through. Okay, hands on your hips or hands behind your head. We're going to do a little plie. We're going to step out. Second position, plie. First position, plie. Same leg lifts up, balance. There's our balance. First position, other side. Second position, center. Balance, little side bend. First, second, first, balance, woo. First, second, lift the spine, balance. So I could go a little faster, I could go a little slower. I like to slow it down on that balance. Whew. Second, first, lift and balance. One more time through each side. Last one. Now we're down to the mat on your back, elbows behind. Now round your back like you're trying to press your back towards the floor. You're gonna press up with your hands, lift one leg and lower. Alternate. Now you're making a decision how much or how little to use your arms, right? I could have my arms away and not use my arms at all. Also, my legs could be lifted the entire time and never quite touch the floor. The whole time, I'm rounding my back. I'm trying to create a C curve in my spine. I'm pressing my back into the back of my shirt, even though it's a crop top. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Come center and up to standing. Back into our starting position where we started. Think about those tuna cans. Toes and knees pointing forward. We're going to do a little plie. Stand tall. Step 1 foot back. Lunge. Center. Squat. Stand other foot. Lunge and center. We could add arms. Arms go out. The leg that steps back, that arm comes up. If you're doing this video a second time, awesome for you. Maybe grab some hand weights. Add some resistance. Oh, I forgot my squat. Squat and lunge. Always coming back to that squat, then lunge. And squat, then lunge. Keep going. Keep your spine long. Pull your belly in. One more. Lunge. Center. Woo. All right. Down to the mat for a plank position. Strong shoulders. Pull your belly up and in. You're going to lift one leg. Lift up. Now you're going to pull your knee into your chest. Round your back. Pike. Lift that leg. Same leg. Round your back. Pull your knee to your chest. Lift up. We're going to stay on this side. For the next 45 seconds, we're going to go to the other side. But stay here. Round your back. You're rounding your spine up towards the ceiling. When you pike and lift, your back flattens out. Round. And lift. How high can you lift that leg? Round. And lift. One more. Round. And lift. Let's come off the wrist for a second before we do the other side. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right. How you doing? My heart rate's up. Woo. Other side. Find your nice strong plank. Lift. Pike your hips. Lift that leg. Round your spine. Knee to forehead. Lift. Flatten your back. Pull your belly in. When you round, think about those belts. Low, middle, high. As you extend, Think about those belts. Low, middle, high. Woo. Push the ground away. Push your mat away. Activate those shoulders. And curl around. You're going to make it 14 seconds. One more. Lift and around. And then come all the way down to your belly for a classic Pilates exercise, double leg kick. Legs are together. You're going to hold hands with yourself. Set one cheek on the mat. Woo. Pull your belly up and in. You're going to bend your knees. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 3 times. Lift your head, lift your chest, lift everything up. Lower down, other cheek to the mat. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Cinch those belts as you lift up and reach. Every time you come down, other cheek goes to the mat. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Alternating side to side. Squeeze the legs together. Whew. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Lift up, reach. How high can you lift? And low down. Keep breathing. Whew. 8 more seconds. We can do one more. And rest all the way down. You've got a moment for a quick child's pose. Send your hips back. All right. That was our 6 exercises. Like I said, we're going to do it one more time. Come up to standing. First position, heels together, toes apart. Plie. Step wide. Second. Same side. Lift. Balance. First. Second. Back to first. Lift your spine. Find that balance. Slow it down maybe. Almost like a rest there. Not so much, right? Can you find that space between all those back bones? Your low back especially. Pull in the front. Listen to your hips and your knees and choose a bend that works for you. We got one more on the other side. And then we're back to the floor on your back, on your elbows. Little rotation here. So I'm going to bring one hand behind my head, curl up, pull your knee in, switch sides. You would always have that hand come down to the mat, or I don't have my hands on the mat for a little challenge. I could also go back to those straight legs. Keep curling your spine, rounding your spine towards the mat behind you. Belly button pulls in. We got 10 more seconds. You're gonna make it. Legs are light. One more each side. Come center. Help yourself up to standing for our lunges. I love lunges. One of my favorite movements. Toes and knees pointing forward. You can have your hands on your hips or arms up. Send your hips back. Back flat. Kind of like how we started. And then we add that lunge. Back to the center. There's no releve. Lunge. And squat. Back is flat the whole time. Think about those belts. Spine lifting. The larger you step back, the lower your lunge, the more challenging. Maybe your back knee touches the ground, maybe it doesn't. If your back knee touches the ground, just make sure you're not slamming it into the floor. That's no bueno for the knees. I forgot my spot. We're done. Woo! Nice. All right, we're down to our planks. Woo, last 3 minutes here. Starting in your plank position. Cinch those belts. Pike your hips. Lift one leg. Round your spine. Bring your knee to your opposite elbow as you round your spine. Little obliques. Lift the leg. Round your spine. Curl. Knee to opposite elbow. Lift up. Push the mat away. Curl as you return into your plank. Lift and curl. Woo. We're almost done with this side. 15 seconds to go. Around your spine. Woo. Ring out your abdominals. You're gonna make it. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And set your knees down, come off your wrist. Whippica is not amused. 3 seconds. Other side, find your plank. Lift up. Find that arabesque, it's beautiful. Round your spine, knee to opposite elbow. Lift back up. And curl. And reach. And curl. And reach. If you have sensitive wrists, or they need a break at any point, you could prop yourself up on a coffee table or the edge of your couch. You could come down to your elbows. It's going to look a little different. Push and round. 8 more seconds. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And round. And come off your wrists. And onto your belly. Last exercise. And then we'll stretch out a little bit. Double leg kick. Set your cheek on the mat. Hold hands with yourself. Anchor your pubic bone. Cinch up those belts. 3 pulses. 2, 3. Lift up. Maybe you can lift a little higher. Reach a little longer. Lower down. Pulse. 2, 3. Lift up. Reach. Other cheek. Pulse. 2, 3. You're going to make it. We're almost done. Woo! Keep breathing. Woo. Maybe there's a moment in that lift where you pause and can you get a little longer, a little higher. And as you lower back down, you're not relaxing down. You're staying active, getting ready to come right back up. All the way to the end. Rest. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Set your hips back to your heels. And come into a child's pose. Send your breath into your low back. Inch your fingertips up your mat, looking for a little shoulder stretch here. One more breath here. And then we're going to come into a puppy dog. So almost like child's pose, but your tush is up in the air. Reach your arms up the mat and bring your sternum, your chin down to the mat. Let your sitting bones widen out behind you and aim your armpits towards the mat. And breathe. From here, we're going to go into a thread the needle. So I'm going to take my right hand and thread it underneath my left. I get to rest my head on the mat in this twist. Nice work. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. Let's take one more breath on this side. Easy does it. As we switch over to the other side. One more breath on this side. And untwist yourself. Make your way up, ending with a little bit of stretches for our hips. I'm going to step my right foot forward and come into a tall lunge. If you need a little support or balance, maybe you set yourself up next to a chair or your couch and settle into this. So I'm looking for a stretch through the front of my left hip. As I breathe, I can find a little bit more space. Take one more breath. And then from here, transition to a hamstring stretch. So you're going to set your hips back over your heels, straightening your front leg. If you want a little extra, you'll find more stretch in the calves by pulling your toes to your nose. One more breath. And then bring that right knee back. Other side. So step your left foot forward. Come into your tall kneeling position. Spine tall. And then easing forward, finding that stretch through the front of the right hip this time. Take a moment to settle through your upper body. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw. Your shoulders are relaxed. Take one more breath. And we'll transition to that hamstring stretch. So send your hips back, straighten your front leg. Maybe pull your toes to your nose. And breathe. And then ease out of that. Come to a seated position. And I just want you to center yourself here. So if this is uncomfortable for you to sit in this position, you could sit in a straddle or sit crisscross, however you're comfortable. Maybe soften your gaze or close your eyes and notice your breath. Hopefully it's come back down a little bit from that workout. If it hasn't, work on that a little bit. Deepen your breath. And I'm working on gratitude right now in my own life. And so I thought I'd bring that to y'all. And I want you to think about something that you're grateful for right now. It can be big, it can be small. For me right now, I am really grateful for the sunshine outside. Even despite the cold weather we're having here in Austin, I'm really grateful that at least it's sunny. So find that thing that you're grateful for. Maybe it's something that's coming down the road next week, something you're looking forward to. And as you inhale, I want you to fill in with that gratitude, all the crevices, all the spaces. And as you exhale, can you allow that gratitude to remain? I'm also grateful that Wipika is such a good guard dog. Let's do that again. Inhale, fill with that gratitude. And exhale, can it be sticky and stuck to all those spaces and remain? Open your eyes. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.